That's just great symbolism. It's very potent. It's very clear. There are lots of people who talk about rock as if it's a dead art. What's up, friends? Today we're checking out Dance Fever by Florence and the Machine. I really like Florence and the Machine's music. There's some really great production and songwriting. Before I really got into doing production and songwriting, Ceremonials is probably one of the albums I listened to most of, like, all albums. It's phenomenal in my opinion and a crowning achievement of the band. So I'm excited to see what Dance Fever has to offer. I'll be giving a songwriter and producer's perspective after each song. King.
I need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing my empty.
I like how the piano comes in on the chorus, compositionally creating like a new layer. Good steady build as far as composition goes, with a new element being added in each of the choruses, starting out with bass, drums, and vocals, which is a lovely way to start. The breakdown is great. That feels like the most Florence and the Machine part of the song. Something about having that harp come in just reminds me, oh yeah, this is what they sound like. A lot of great interactions between instruments there. Good spacing between like who's taking the lead. Almost feels like a jazz section in that way. And I like how going into that last chorus, it's like the remnants of those instruments are leaking into the last chorus. Slight notes are being played here and there, but it's not the big explosive energy of that breakdown. And I think that part is really nice. Lyrically, I think the song is interesting, kind of weighing career aspirations against classic ideas of femininity, which include being a bride and a mother, saying, you know, I'm no bride, I'm no mother, I'm a king. I think that's a struggle that a lot of women nowadays go through, is trying to find balance between those different life objectives. Good song. I really like King. I've heard it before. I saw the music video and thought, wow, this is excellent. It's interesting too because I don't think she paints herself as having the correct answer to the conundrum. Free. Oh, that's cool. I feel like that chorus is so interesting in the way that it takes away elements. It takes away those darker, grittier tones. That, like, I think it's a synth bass with a lot of distortion on it. And that frees up the chorus in this really fun way. It gives more room for the vocal. It's really smart.
Chews me up, spits me out, picks me up, puts me down.
I really like how the strings open and close that song. I like the rougher tones they're getting from those strings. It's one of the pros of using an organic instrument is you can get the parts of the instrument that you wouldn't necessarily classify as like pretty, but more rough. Way the songwriting and the production blends on this song is really cool, with the song being named Free and focusing on those moments when Florence feels free and things aren't weighing her down. It's nice that in those moments the production is freed up. You have this bass synth that is very overpowering in the beginning, and as the ideas of freedom are expressed, that bass synth drops out, leaving room for everything else. I think that's a good representation of what's going on in the writer's mind on this. I love when Florence and the Machine has these really intense biblical references. I love biblical references in music. We use biblical references on the latest Jack Jack EP, Gonna Make It, with Down from the Mountain. And I just think they add such weight to poetry and to song lyrics. Okay, Choreomania.
Something's coming, so out of breath, I just kept spinning and I dance myself to.
Oh. Those drums coming in add so much excitement to the music. It makes the whole song feel like it just expanded. So, such a cool moment. That song's dope. I like the way it builds. You start with just super simple chords, super simple elements, those claps, and that synth. And then as time progresses, more things get added to the song, taking up different parts. And then when those drums come in, it just really takes off. When she says something's coming, you hear something coming in terms of audio. You know, you've got this very ambient texture coming through on the left side. I think that's brilliant. I liked the bridge portion of the song when she says, "Oh, you say rock is dead. Maybe it's because it hasn't been resurrected yet, like Jesus coming back, but in a beautiful dress." That's just great symbolism. It's very potent. It's very clear. There are lots of people who talk about rock as if it's a dead art, and then taking ownership over that resurrection, saying like, "I am the new rock." It's an intense thing to say. A little self-referential, but still cool. I'm still digging it.
For the pain.
Oh, that background vocal coming in with that organ. Such a great transitionary way into the second part of the song. Coming in right with pain too. Brilliant.
Halogen glow.
So my thoughts on Back in Town. The production isn't like that interesting. I think it fits with the tone they're going for, and I think it's a good place to put a song like this in the album, something slower. You know, you've had 3 songs that were more hype songs, and then you have one that brings it back a little bit, more focused on the vocals, just an atmospheric kind of bass in the background with organs and some background vocals coming in at certain points, and then at the end you have some other like harp work, it sounds like. I would like to hear this song in different contexts just because I'm so curious of what it would be like. I'd love to have just a pure a cappella version of this song where you take away all of the instruments. I think it could sound really beautiful, almost like a Gregorian chant or something like that. And I could see Florence putting out something like that where she's just singing this song. If anyone knows about that at any point, please put it in the comments section. I'd also love to hear a version of this with percussion. I think that could be really interesting, more as like a revivalist spiritual song, because I feel like it fits that vibe. I think what they did with it is correct, but I would like to hear it in other contexts. Good songwriting though. I like a baptism of the city. I think that's such a fascinating lyric. It's so visual because baptisms symbolize this immersion and this rebirth. And so if someone's being baptized in the city, it means they're being reborn for the city. They're being immersed in the city. Girls Against God. Interesting title.
And it's good to be alive.
Again, we have a moment where a lot of the atmospheric elements are taken away for that chorus section. Really frees it up. It's nice. Second time we've seen that.
Crying in the cereal at midnight.
I'm also noticing, especially from going to the second verse of the chorus, how they drop out a lot of reverb from her vocal. That's cool. It got me a little misty. Good song. Yeah, the idea of religious disillusionment, but like not a lack of belief, just a confusion with God and what's going on with our lives is very Old Testament. You know, felt very Job and being like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening to me? The idea of God, you're gonna get it. You'll be sorry you messed with us is so interesting. I don't know if it's like rebellious in nature. This idea of like, oh, I can take on this like divinity. I can go against this grand omnipotent being. And she recognizes, you know, there's that contrast there with the line speck of dust. The breakdown is awesome. I really like that section of the song. Just letting the instruments really go at it. The pairing of horns with harp sounds really, really pretty. These dirtier tones with this very pure sounding instrument. I love when contrasting elements come together like that, you know? Like when a more upbeat song has really depressing lyrics, like when the beat is moving, but the sound and the song still have this really sad quality, like the pretty sad vibe, that bittersweet. It's beautiful. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, make sure to subscribe. Encourage me to do more of these music reviews. We're coming out with a new music video on May 21st, making fun of Drake. I think those who like Drake and those who dislike Drake will enjoy this song. Florence has worked with Drake. She's written for him, so there's that connection.
Girl, you think of me in bed, but you
I think the verses of this song are so brilliant. The melodies move in such interesting ways. It's really catchy, but that chorus doesn't really do it for me personally. That bass riff that descends halfway through the bridge, it's excellent. Really just sets the vibe. I think my issue with the chorus is that I think the pre-chorus builds and builds to this really raucous tone, and then it's dream girl, evil. It's just kind of this really basic, almost chant, and it's not like a really heartfelt chant. I feel like the emotion is so heartfelt, the emotion builds so well, and then it just gets taken away in a non-pleasing way. I can hear, listening to this song, it going in a very electronic direction, like an EDM direction, where you have this build up and then it breaks down into this drop section. And so that could be done here with like electronic guitars or some other just like louder instrumentation soloing over that part, taking over the melody. I feel like the song has so much potential. I'll probably get used to the Dream Girl Evil part. I mean, it's not my song. I don't get to decide how it goes. But yeah, I just thought it wasn't maybe the best way to go into it. I like so many things about that song, though. That bridge was phenomenal. I really liked the way they switched from this brighter tone to this darker tone halfway through. I thought that was really nice. And the verses are killer. I think the verses are so good. And I think the message of the song is so good too. When you put someone on a pedestal, once you get to know them, they're going to fall off that pedestal and then they'll be evil. They'll be a darker thing for you. And so there's kind of a danger in doing that and setting up these idealistic expectations for people. Okay, next song. Prayer Factory.
ripping hotel sheets with gritted teeth. My mom.
Short, kind of has an industrial feel. Cool song.
It was a song.
That transition in the first verse is really great. I love going from that ethereal vibe to when the bass comes and it just becomes more driving. The lyrics imitate that feel and get more involved. It's cool.
I used to move into the future, bring it all back, let it bleed.
That's probably my favorite song on the album so far. Really demonstrates how using epic references can take a song and make it sound bigger in importance, you know, by talking about crosses, cathedrals, gods of slaughter, all of these really big otherworldly references. The issues and problems seem to take on mythic proportions. Also, just the production of it was so cool. The way it just like evolves and spreads, the different vocal textures going on, you know, that bridge section where it was more talked and dry. That chorus is so catchy. Can you see me? Can I see you? So cool. Yeah, great song. Cassandra's dope. Open up the B-side in a strong way.
Bring yourself, bring your cigarette. Draw me a circle and I'll
I love how this sounds like just this folk song that's been sung forever, and just that production gives it that feel in such a cool way.
Take heaven is here if you want it.
New favorite. That song's awesome. I've heard that song before, but that song is so sick. Oh, it sounds so big and powerful. I think people forget that if you want something to sound really loud, you got to take things away. You know, every instrument sounds so big and loud because there's spaces, and because when it comes in, it comes in. You know, those boom, boom, boom. All rad, all rad. So cool. And the claps with her vocal. Yeah. And then the way it just evolves when those new vocals come in, like everything you add just completely changes the feel of the song because there's so little going. It's such an important lesson. Something I'm constantly trying to remind myself as I'm doing production. It's like, okay, what can I take away? How can I reduce this song to its core elements to bring something out more? You know, what's arguing with the core piece of this part of this song? And how can I draw back that argument and make it less potent? That first part of the song is so epic, and then the way the drums drop in there, having this really intense high choral vocal over the top of it. That piano playing during the chorus is super cool. Just those high-end things going on with that low chord. It sounds so good with that groove.
Daffodil. Daffodil.
You see, I think that song did what Dreamgirl Evil was trying to do. Like, Dreamgirl Evil was trying to have this super simple chorus that was just super intense still, and Daffodil pulls that off. You know? You build. Daffodil! Oh, that ending is so sick. Yeah, there's just so many parts of that song that sound so dope. The instrumentals going on in that chorus are really the focus. Yeah, it's such an intense song. It's so cool. I'm really liking this B-side. Having those like choral chants going on that lead to this synthesizer doing a dance beat. It's so strange. But it's cool. It's just weird.
So tell me where to put my love. Do I wait
This chorus is so Madonna in my opinion. Total dance groove.
to do what it does? I don't know where to put my love.
Didn't expect this is a dope dance number, but it's sick. It's a good song. It's interesting how like sad the lyrics are and how dancey the song is. I feel like a lot of dance hits are like that though. This idea of where do I put my love now? I don't love writers talking about writing. It's not my favorite thing in the whole world, but I think the chorus is relatable enough. Like, where do I put my energy? Kind of an existential crisis. I need to have an existential crisis in a dance song. Although I feel like a lot of those big EDM hits are like that too, so it's not the craziest thing. I think it's fascinating because there's this feeling that she's not getting as much fulfillment from her art because there's times where it lets her down. I think she's specifically talking about COVID and how her lack of ability to do live performance just affected her mentally. Which, I mean, I did any artist. But it's fascinating to me because on that first song, she says, oh, it almost gives this vibe of like, I'm better than all of this. And I think it's very tongue-in-cheek in that perspective. But I feel like that song is kind of an answer to this song, you know? Oh, well, if you are looking for something that is really, really fulfilling, most people would tell you that, motherhood is a very fulfilling thing, like being a parent. It's fatherhood as well for those men out there, or being a parent for those non-binaries. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know, though. What do I know? I'm just a man. Restraint is next.
And have I learned restraint?
Really like the breaths on that song. Really like the boom, boom, boom. It's cool. It's very cool. I think that's the better of the two short songs. It's interesting how within the context of this album, that song gives off Job vibes, because she's made all these great Old Testament and biblical references. That song is echoing that sentiment. This "How long, O Lord?" Isaiah vibes. The bomb.
Availability is the only thing that turns you on.
I'm a sucker for brushes on snares.
I've blown apart my life for you, and bodies hit the floor for you, and break me, shake me.
That midsection, or just boom, boom, boom. So brilliant. It's such a good way to break apart the song, adding these different layers.
I don't love you, I just love the bomb.
Brilliant song. I like how it has this like slow, vibey feel to it, and then where like kind of everything cuts out and you just get that kick. It's interesting how much this illustrates that point that you can create more excitement sometimes by taking things away. Just that element of change within a music, changing the amount of instruments, changing which instruments take the forefront, can really create movement within a piece. Drumming's really good on this song too. The idea of being attracted to unavailability is so interesting. I saw it in myself at one point, and I thought to myself, this isn't good. You want to get rid of that inside of you, the part of you that likes the pursuit so much more than the stability of a good relationship. It's a toxic trait. Oh, I love this second half of this album. It's so good. Morning Elvis.
I pressed my forehead to the floor and prayed for a trapdoor.
The instrumentals are so chill, and her vocals just add this amazing excitement and energy to the song.
But I've never made it to Graceland.
The adds a really nice movement to the chorus sections near the end.
Should've come with a warning.
That song to me showcases what vocals can do to completely change up the vibe of a song. Production landscape is very chill, it's very atmospheric, it's not super in your face. But when the vocals come in, they add this new excitement, this energy, and this soul to the song. And a lesser artist wouldn't be able to do that. They wouldn't be able to enhance the song like Florence does. It just shows you the power. Powerful vocals. Florence Welch vocals. Oof. Oh, that B-side of that album is sick. There's a few songs on the A-side that weren't as satisfying to me, but that B-side just redeems that album. A lot of interesting tracks going on, nothing too offensive. I really liked Daffodil, Heaven is Here, Cassandra. My Love was also good. And The Bomb. And also Morning Elvis. Like, that whole B-side is just my favorite. The A section has some good songs. I think King is phenomenal. Girls Against God and Free are also really good. But I don't think it holds up as much as that B section does. So yeah, I liked it. I liked the mythical, biblical vibes. A lot going on. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this little reaction. Hope you enjoyed some of the perspectives. Hopefully I enlightened your mind in some way, or not. Make sure to subscribe if you feel like this was a good added perspective to your day. Check out my other videos, my music. Got an album with Jock Jock. Also in the alternative rock genre. Although I don't know that we're resurrecting rock in a dress like Florence is. That's it. Catch on the flip.